What's going on, guys? My name is Ben, and on this video we're going to go over how much my small YouTube channel makes. So normally on my channel I talk about e-commerce and building different online income streams, so we're going to take a little bit of a sidestep and just focus on YouTube today. So I'm going to break down how I got my start with my YouTube channel, then I'm going to show you guys how to get monetized and how long it took for me to get monetized, and then we're going to go into some of the different ways that you can actually make money with YouTube. And hint, it's not just from the ads that play in front of these videos, there are some other ways to actually make money with YouTube. I'm going to break down my dashboard, my analytics, and actually show you guys how much I've made. And then finally, I'm going to give you guys a few tips and some of the things that I found that work for growing a YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in e-commerce or building online income streams, subscribe to my channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right in. All right, guys, so let's hop right into this. Now, I'm going to say this up front. If you guys prefer reading content, I'll put a link to my blog post that pretty much breaks down all of this information down below in the description as well, in case you guys want to read it there. But before we get into my backstory and how I started a YouTube channel, I'm just going to share with you guys some of the facts that actually blew me away. So YouTube is actually the second most visited site in the world, according to Alexa.com, only behind Google. And it's actually the second largest search engine in the world. So obviously there's a lot of traffic coming through YouTube, but one of my favorite stats is this one right here. So the number of channels earning six figures per year on YouTube grows by 40% every year. So obviously there's more and more people creating channels, but it is clear that, there's more money flowing into this platform, and there's still a ton of opportunity to create a business, maybe even replace a, part of your job or create a kind of a full-time income stream here. And to be honest, guys, if I had known these facts when I got into YouTube, I probably would have taken things a lot more seriously. So kind of my backstory is I actually put my first video up in 2017. So let me hop over into my dashboard here. I'm just going to show you guys. So let me switch this to views. And these purple blips right here, these are all of the videos that I put out. So right here we see, so this one was actually an unpublished video that I had put up here for some project. But right here, so December 3rd, 2017 was my first video. And then I put up one more video about 2 weeks later on December 17th. That first video, guys, first of all, I don't even know why I put this video up. It was just kind of on a whim. At the time I was doing a lot of stuff, and I still am, but with Amazon and e-commerce, and you guys can see the video right here. I'm sure if you dig through my channel, you can probably find this video. But I was sick when I was recording it. I had no idea how to, record a video. I didn't have any kind of software for this. I was using my old 6 or 7 year old laptop, so I didn't have a good camera or anything. But I still put out a video and published it, and then created one more a couple weeks later. And then what happened is I pretty much forgot that these videos even existed. At the time, and we can see this right here. So this big gap between my second video in late December of 2017 and then my next videos. So what happened is I kind of went back to my normal life here. I was not coming onto YouTube to make money or anything like that. I think I just kind of wanted to put these videos out here and see, what would happen if I put videos on YouTube. But what happened is after a couple months, I came back into my dashboard, so sometime in March, and I looked at my analytics, and it wasn't anything crazy, especially not with some of the stats that I see today. But at the time, I was really surprised that people were watching my videos, and then people were commenting on them. I was getting a few subscribers here and there, and I'm talking only a couple views a day. If I hover over this, I was getting 0 some days. I was getting, 3, 4, 5. So it wasn't a lot, but it was enough where I saw that. I was like, oh, I can't believe someone is watching my content. And so I started getting a little bit interested, and I just said, what happens if I put out some more content on YouTube? And so what happened here is I started publishing a lot more content. So in 2018, all these little purple lines here are videos that I published. In 2018, I published 77 new videos on YouTube. I wasn't making any money from this, but we can see this green line here, the views started to go up over time. And then in kind of in the middle or early part of 2019, I took this little break here, and then I started going crazy with videos again. So in 2019, I put out another 55 videos, and that's kind of where my views and subscribers really started to rocket up. You guys can see here, obviously, a lot of growth happened here. And then in 2020, I actually have only put out, once this one goes live, 10 videos for the entire year, but I've still had, pretty solid, views and subscriber counts, etc. Obviously, it's plateaued a little bit, which I'll kind of touch on a little bit later. life happens, right? I was working 2 jobs, and so for this last year, and so I didn't have as much time to put out content. But what I'm trying to show you guys here is this is kind of my backstory, right? So I actually just started kind of, experimenting with the platform and put up a few videos, and I got interested and kept putting out content. And the thing that kind of hooked me on this platform is that I started seeing people were subscribing to my channel because they were interested in what I was talking about. So again, my channel is mostly about e-commerce and print on demand and building businesses online. And this is something that I was passionate about. And so it was really cool for me to connect with people who are kind of like-minded and doing the same stuff, or just interested in what I had to say. And the way that I kind of think about this is every person who either views your video or subscribes to your channel, generally speaking, that person likes something that you're saying, right? And they're voting with that subscription or whatever to pretty much say, hey, I like your content and I might be on a similar path. And that was really cool to me. And finally, I just felt like I was documenting my process. I was talking about, the stuff that I was doing and that I was kind of already doing in my day-to-day life. And so that's kind of how I started with YouTube. So it was never about, coming on here to make money. Again, I didn't make money for, more than the first year, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Now, obviously, everyone comes to YouTube kind of for a different reason, right? And so there are a lot of challenges. I don't want to make this sound like this is a really easy way to make money. For me, I already knew what I wanted to talk about, and it just was kind of a natural fit. But some people just know they want to make a YouTube channel, but they might not know, what they want to talk about. And so some of the challenges with starting a YouTube channel are, finding that your voice, right? So finding the niche or the thing that you want to talk about. Then creating content. How do you come up with content ideas, right? And that can be kind of a challenge for some people. You want to create valuable content that's going to get, viewers and subscribers, and that provides them with value. So finding ideas for that content can be a little tricky, right? Some of the other kind of things that were hangups for me or roadblocks were having the right equipment. At the beginning, I didn't even know, what screen recording software was. I didn't have a camera. I didn't know how to edit videos, any of that good stuff. So I was kind of self-conscious about that in the early days. And I've just kind of started to figure some of that stuff out, just in 2020. So it's taken me a few years. Another big one is a lot of people say they don't want to get in front of the camera. Well, first of all, you don't have to. You can do screen recordings or animated videos. There's all kinds of ways to get around that. But sometimes this can be a challenge, overcoming that little voice telling you like, I shouldn't go in front of the camera, whatever it may be. And even, I still have this kind of feeling sometimes too. The big challenge for me is staying consistent. So I just showed you guys kind of my dashboard here. You can see there's these big gaps where I didn't put out any content, or I slowed way down, and then I'd have these weird bursts. So staying consistent, that can definitely be a big challenge for a lot of people. And finally, differentiating your channel, standing out, doing something that's a little bit different, whether it's jokes that you tell in your video, or your thumbnails, or kind of a shtick that you have, or whatever it may be, finding ways to stand out. But there are a lot of reasons why I think you guys should start a YouTube channel if you haven't already and you're watching this video. So some of the things that I really like about YouTube. Number one is you're getting out of your comfort zone. So unless you already know, all about creating content and, video editing and all of this stuff, you're going to learn a lot of new skills along the way. So this was kind of a way for me to push myself out of my comfort zone, learn about, SEO on YouTube, how the algorithms work, how to do thumbnails, how to do recording and editing, all of that good stuff. One of the big draws, though, and this is something that got more and more exciting to me over time, was creating that personal brand. I liked connecting with people, seeing comments, seeing, feedback from people on my videos, or getting suggestions, and building kind of this audience of like-minded people that are on the same path as me. Another big one, at the time I was, on Instagram a lot, I was, on Facebook a lot, I was looking at a lot of other people's content. I was a consumer, and so one of the cool things is with YouTube, you shift out of the consumer mindset and kind of focus more on creating content and, giving value to other people. One of the largest kind of benefits to YouTube is that you create a video or a piece, this asset once, but you can reap the benefits countless times. And so, unlike where you sell a t-shirt to someone and once that transaction's over, you have to go and find another new customer. Instead with YouTube, we are creating a video, and that video could not only, make me money in the short term, or get me subscribers, but it can still make me money for years to come. And I have videos that, I published in 2018 that are still making me money in 2020. And obviously, money is a big one too, right? You can earn money with YouTube. And for a lot of people, they might want to replace their full-time job or just have a side hustle. That's obviously a big benefit with YouTube. A few of the other ones, for me, this is kind of cool, but depending on, the type of person you are, maybe gaining credibility in your industry. So for me, I talk about e-commerce. I want to kind of be an authority figure and, be known in this space. and kind of have people come to me if they have questions, or if they have a cool idea or whatever it may be. Also, teaching other people, that can be really rewarding and fun. And you can have a lot of fun while you're doing this. I have a lot of fun creating content and growing my YouTube channel. So enough with all of that stuff. Let's get into how you actually make money on YouTube. Now, I alluded to this at the beginning of this video, but kind of, the main thing that people think about are the ads that play at the beginning of videos, in the middle and end. But you might not be aware that there are other ways to make money with YouTube. So first of all, we'll talk about that main one. So Google AdSense. So those are the ads that play, at the beginning, at the middle, end of videos. And obviously that can be a really cool way to make money when you put out content. Now, the kind of drawback here, and we're going to touch on this in a little bit, is that it takes time before your channel is enabled to actually start being to have this feature. So you can't just create a channel and then go put ads up right away. There's something called the YouTube Partner Program, which we'll get into, and there's some requirements you have to meet before you can actually put these ads up. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Some of the other ways to make money, one of the other big ones is affiliate marketing. Now, a lot of you guys are probably already familiar with this, but essentially what affiliate marketing is a company will say, hey, if you refer my product to someone and they sign up, I'll give you a percentage or a kickback, on that sign up. And how this works especially well with YouTube is, talking about things that you guys are already using in your life. So for me, there's a lot of software tools that I'm using in my day-to-day life for my own e-commerce business. And so I will essentially refer these to my audience or tell my audience about this. You guys have probably seen this. So if I go to one of my YouTube videos, you'll see down here in the description, I have all these links. Some of them are affiliate links, some are not. But if someone were to click, let's say on this one for Printify, which is a print-on-demand provider, and sign up, I would get a kickback. You'd essentially be buying me a cup of coffee. And this is kind of a really natural way to make money because in theory, you should be kind of only talking about products that you're using or you're really sold on the value of, etc. So I'm talking about these different products I'm already using and sharing them with my audience, and in turn, I get a little bit of money from that. The cool thing about affiliate marketing is you can do this right out of the gate. So you guys could start a YouTube channel today, sign up for a few different affiliate programs, and put links in your videos and your descriptions and start making money that way. Some of the other ways to make money, brand deals. Now, obviously, when you guys are just starting a channel, you're probably not going to have access to brand deals. But as you get bigger, you have some more authority, and you might be able to negotiate different brand deals. So whether you're reaching out to brands or they reach out to you and negotiating for free product or for some kind of monetary value. Here's an example. One of my favorite content creators, Ollie, is doing a paid promotion with a productivity app, Notion. And so obviously, most YouTubers aren't disclosing how much they make because they have contracts in place, but this can be a very lucrative way to make money as well as you get bigger and your channel and your audience grows. Then there's a few other ways, right? You can sell products and services to your audience. So whether it's, a physical product, like if I had a cat YouTube channel, I could maybe create a funny cat t-shirt and tell my subscribers and my audience about it, and they might buy that product. For me, more applicable is going to be like if I were to see a problem in my e-commerce business and I create a tool or a piece of software around that that's solves this problem, I could then go tell my audience about it and obviously make money that way. And then kind of the final one is memberships and supporters. We see this a lot with people that do live streaming of video games, and they might have loyal fans donate to them. Some people talk about, membership platforms like Patreon. So sign up for my Patreon and, give me $3 a month or whatever it may be to support me and get access to additional content. So there's all kinds of creative ways that we can make money on YouTube. But we're going to talk about how to actually get into that YouTube Partner Program. So this is how you actually get into the program that allows you to run ads before, during, and after your videos. There are some requirements that you have to meet. But before we get into that, I'm just going to show you guys how long it took for me to actually get my channel monetized. So back here on my dashboard, let me just go ahead and switch this to estimated revenue. And what you guys will see here is that this green line is when I started making money. And what we notice here is that, again, I created that first video in 2017. I didn't make a dime from YouTube until about March of 2019. So it was about 15 or 16 months there where I was just creating content and I wasn't getting any kind of money from putting this content out. And fortunately for me, that was okay because I didn't come onto YouTube to make money right away. I was already just interested in the platform. But it does take time to actually get kind of enrolled in this. And when you do, you might not be making a lot of money right out of the gate. So you guys can see here, my early days, I was making maybe like 20 cents a day, 40 cents. But over time it builds up. So, just a couple weeks ago, I had my highest single day to date, which was $11.52. And now I'm making, closer to like $6 or $7 a day. And I'll break all of this down in a little bit. But obviously this grows over time, the more content we have out there, etc. So yes, YouTube, you can make a lot of money, but I just want to tell you guys, you do have to be patient with this and play by their rules. So let's actually break this down. What are the requirements to get into this YouTube partner program, the YPP? I'll put a link to this down below in the description, kind of the YouTube publication about this, but the basic requirements are as follows. So you pretty much have to follow all of the policies on YouTube. You have to live in a country where they offer this partner program, which, it's pretty much available in most countries. And then you have to have 4,000 watched hours in the last 12 months. And this is a rolling standard. So if I stopped putting out content now and, I dipped under that amount, 4,000 in the last 12 months, I could actually, see that I fall out of this program. So that is something to think about. And then you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have a AdSense account. So for me, guys, it took me 16 months, 15 or 16 months before I was able to start making money from my YouTube channel. And the thing that was a little bit more tricky for me was, I got to 1,000 subscribers, but it was those watch hours and getting the 4,000 watch hours. That took me the most time. Obviously, I have seen people that are doing this, in 3, 4, 5 months. So yes, you can do it a lot quicker. I am by no means kind of the perfect example of how fast you can go. I actually think that if you're consistent and create good content, you could probably do this in, 6 months or maybe even less. But those are the general requirements. So what happens is once you hit those requirements, once you get, at least 1,000 subscribers and you have 4,000 hours of watch time, YouTube will review your account, and assuming they don't find any red flags, they will turn on monetization, and that allows you to put these ads on your videos. Now, generally speaking, some people won't always monetize right away because maybe they want to attract people to come and look at their videos or subscribe. But when you turn monetization on, remember, YouTube also, they're a business. They want to make money. So they do normally tend to favor your videos more as you get monetized. So normally once you start getting monetized, that's where things start to really pick up and you can start to see some more growth with your YouTube channel. So for me, it took about 15, 16 months. And then I was only making a little bit of money every single day. So now let's break down actually how much money I make. And what we want to focus on are two really important metrics that YouTube talks about. So there's something called the CPM, and then there's something called the RPM. So just a quick example here. So how YouTube actually monetizes your videos is essentially for those ad placements. They have a live auction. Obviously, this is all done digitally, and it's very quick. So it's not like we're looking at any kind of auction, but advertisers are bidding on placing an ad on your YouTube video. You make money on ad views, so not just a standard view, but so sometimes someone might watch a video and there might not be an ad there. That's not going to count as an ad view. So for example, if your video is viewed 10 times and 8 of those views contained ads, you would have 10 total views, but you would only have 8 ad views, which are estimated monetized playbacks. But someone can see more than one ad. So for example, if one of those estimated monetized playbacks saw 2 ads, then you would have 9 total ad impressions or ad views. So what the next kind of step is here is to think about the CPM and the RPM. And these are kind of the key metrics that tell us how much money we're going to make. So just, pulling from this article right here, this article kind of put out there that the average YouTuber makes, 1 to 3 cents per view, which translates to $3 to $5 per 1,000 views. These metrics are in terms of 1,000 impressions, which is something to keep in mind. So based off this, essentially what this metric is for every 1,000 views, the average content creator is going to see a CPM of $3 to $5. Now that does not mean that you are making $3 to $5 because YouTube takes a cut out of that. CPM instead reflects how much advertisers are willing to spend for 1,000 views on your channel. or to show to your audience. So in a nutshell, guys, again, CPM is essentially the cost an advertiser pays for 1,000 views. And so let me just hop into my dashboard here, and I'm just going to show you guys what this looks like. So here in my revenue area of my dashboard, we see my estimated revenue. We see this metric here, RPM, and then we see this metric we're just talking about, CPM. So you guys will see this metric here is showing $25.69. You might be thinking, okay, well, Ben, you just told me that the average YouTuber makes $3 to $5 for their CPM. This rate can vary widely depending on what you're talking about. So maybe the average YouTuber is making around $3 to $5 in CPM, but channels like finance, personal finance, e-commerce, business channels, advertisers are willing to pay more money, and so you can generally see a much higher CPM. And this is something you want to think about when you're, deciding what niche or content you're going to create. For me, I'm in the business world, or kind of this space where people might pay, more, or they have buyers intent to pay for software or services. So advertisers are more likely to pay a higher rate to advertise on my channel. But maybe if you have a cat channel or a very broad channel, advertisers might not pay as much to advertise on your content. And so my metric here, if we look, my entire lifetime is $25.69. So this means that for every 1,000 views, advertisers are paying YouTube or Google AdSense $25.69 on average, but that is not how much money I make per 1,000 views. So YouTube has a second metric called RPM. So RPM is essentially the estimated revenue. I think it stands for revenue per mil or something like that. Let me just see. I think I have it written down here. So revenue per mil. And this is the metric that is specific to the content creator. So this is actually their estimation of how much you as a content creator make per 1,000 views. And so if we go back here, you guys will see my RPM is $8.44. So this is more realistic to what I'm actually going to make from the views on my channel. So for every 1,000 views, I will take home roughly $8.44. It's an estimation, but it is pretty accurate. And so YouTube is taking something like 50% or 55%. I can't remember the exact figure. They're going to take a big cut of the ad revenue, but they do pass on some of that revenue. So that is kind of how you make money with advertisements. How much can a small YouTube channel make? So let's actually get into my channel. I'm going to break down, my metrics here. So we're going to hop back over to the dashboard here, and I'll just show you guys. So let me just go back in this. I just want to refresh everything so you guys can see this is obviously, real data, not photoshopping anything. So I'm going to go over to analytics, and let me just break this down for you guys. So revenue, it's going to take 1 second to load, and let's go back. And I am going to go year by year. So remember, guys, I got monetized in 2019. So if I go back to 2019, so my first year and a half on YouTube, I didn't make any money. I got monetized here in March, so that's when I finally met all those requirements and could start running ads, and that's when I started making money. So for the entire year of 2019, I made $530.78. So my RPM was $6.90. If you guys want to do the math, essentially how you can do this is I could go to my views here, and for 2019 I got 77,000 views. So essentially what I would do is 77 times my RPM, which I'm not going to do in my head because my math is not that good. But if we do that calculation, it should be something along the lines of $530 or pretty close to that number. So in 2019, my channel made $530, and you guys can see here it really started to pick up once I started getting all this content pushed out continuously. So all these little icons down here are videos. So I published 3 in this little time slot, 4, blah blah blah, and we can see that is really when my revenue started to go crazy and really started to pick up. So improving from maybe making 16 or 60 cents a day, I was starting to get $1, $1.50, $2, etc. And the momentum kind of builds, right? So as I push out more content, there's more, people are watching more of my videos, and there's obviously more ads being displayed, more eyeballs, and so I am making more money. So that was 2019. So I made $530 in 2019. And then let's go into 2020. So guys, remember in 2020, I only have published 9 videos, and once this one goes up, 10 videos, but I made still a significant amount more. I made $1,961.77, and you guys can see here that my RPM actually went way up as well. So my RPM increased to about $10.95. I don't know why this happens. Maybe my content's getting better or something like that. I don't want to toot my own horn, but and so maybe my channel's a little bit more valuable to advertise on. But this has grown, and the cool thing here, guys, is again, this is probably pretty slow for someone who is coming into YouTube and saying, I want to grow aggressively. You could probably make way more money than this. I've seen a lot of other channels do much bigger numbers than this in their second or third year. For me, the big thing is, I was doing this very part-time. I backed off a lot in 2020. And so that's kind of where my big challenge was, the consistency piece. So let me just go out here one more time. I'm just going to go back up a little bit. So let me go to starting in 2017. I just want to show you guys the momentum effect and what happens when you're not consistent. So let's go actually to the views first. So first of all, you guys can see here. So again, my first videos came out back here. And as I started putting out, in 2018, 55 videos, all of a sudden I started getting way more views here. And then I slowed down for a little bit, and then I started publishing again, slowed down for a little bit, and so this inconsistency really hurt me here. But what happened is then in 2019, kind of the middle of 2019, I started putting out a lot of content, and we can see that this momentum really builds in 2019. And so that is one of the big takeaways for you guys, is if you are going to start a YouTube channel, think about how you can do this and kind of maintain a very consistent schedule. Maybe it's just one video a week, or one video every other week, or you could even get more aggressive. There's people who do one video a day. But remain consistent, because that is really going to help you grow very, very quickly on this platform. So my big goal going into 2020 is to get back into a consistent mode with publishing content. And I've just kind of started to pick that back up. So you guys can see here, I had this big fall off here in terms of views, and that obviously is going to generally equate to less revenue. But if we look at my revenue actually did go up because I have more subscribers, and so there are kind of a bigger audience that's kind of pre-built here, so we can see my revenues going up. But I probably would have been at a much higher revenue had I been publishing content consistently. So just to break this down a little bit further is, you can see here kind of my monthly breakdown. So for this year, since July, I'm making about $160, on kind of the low end per month. This month's going to be my best month ever at about $202 so far, and we have a few days left. So I'll probably finish, closer to like $225. And to back up, guys, I have about 8,000 subscribers right now. So from 8,000 subscribers, this is how much money I'm making. And that's only with publishing, 10 videos in the last year. So I've been pretty hands-off with this platform. Now, this isn't my only revenue stream. So we talked about some of the other revenue streams, and I told you guys about affiliate income. So if you remember, I have these links here under my videos, and every video has different links to it, but this was also another way that I generated income as well in 2020. So affiliate income is still very new to me, but through these links that I've placed down here, I did make some additional income. So my two biggest ones were with Printify, which is, again, this print-on-demand provider. And I had one video. Let me actually pull this video up. So I'm gonna go to my channel really quick. I had one video that I published in earlier in 2020. And let me go ahead and find this videos. And so this, let me see where oh, here it is. So this video right here has 11,000 views. I published this video 9 months ago. And this one video has generated for me, let me go ahead and pause this. Sorry about that, guys. So down here, I have the link to sign up with, my affiliate link. And from this, I am getting a commission. So here in my Printify dashboard, I can see how much money I'm making. On my highest day, I made $101 in affiliate commissions. So Printify is paying me out, once a month for all the people that sign up on the platform using my link. And you guys can see here some of my payouts. So in July, the first month that this video went live, I actually made $219 from publishing or getting people to kind of sign up for this service. And this is a service I already use, so I was just pretty much created an in-depth walkthrough video, and from that, people ended up signing up. We can see that, I made $51, $16, and I have another $44 or so that's pending right now. Another one that I do is with Shopify. Now, again, I don't have a lot of people that are signing up, but you guys can see that over the last year, I've had 4 people that have turned into paid conversions, and Shopify pays $29 and up per person that converts. And so I have made another $203 from Shopify. Now I have other affiliate programs, but they're all a lot smaller, so I'm not even gonna go into them in this video. So if we look at all of this as a whole, I'm getting paid through both Google AdSense and affiliate income. So from YouTube so far, I've made close to $2,500, and then I've made another $370 odd from Printify and another $200. So in total, just from building this YouTube channel and talking about things that I'm interested in that I've already I would be creating content about even if I wasn't getting paid, I've made over $3,000. And in the last year in 2020, I haven't even put out a lot of content. And I'm not saying this, every YouTuber says this kind of stuff. I'm not saying this to boast you guys. I just am, again, trying to show you what is possible with this platform and just give you ideas of how you guys can make money, selling or with your YouTube channel, even if it is not that big. I only have 8,000 subscribers. So to prevent myself from rambling anymore, let's go ahead and kind of wrap this up. So I'm just going to tell you guys some of the tips that I recommend. The biggest one, guys, is going to be just, being consistent. The magic with YouTube comes when you are consistent and put out content over and over again, and you deliver value, and hopefully over time you get better. So my number one tip to you guys is be consistent if you're going to start a YouTube channel. My number two tip, and this is something that helped me grow relatively quickly, but is to choose a niche. So if we go to my channel, you guys can see all of my videos are around e-commerce. As you get bigger, you can start to kind of branch out and talk about other things. So I don't even really talk about YouTube a ton on my channel, but now that I have a lot of people that follow me for e-commerce, now I'm starting to talk about YouTube because I'm obviously starting to grow this as well as another income source. And so you can kind of branch out as you get bigger. But my recommendation when you're just starting is to choose a niche and create content for that niche. That's going to help you, people find your channel and, again, help you develop your voice on YouTube. My next tip to you guys is to develop your skills. So we talked about getting outside of your comfort zone. One of the big things that I've done this year is to spend more time learning about how to do editing. I invested in getting some lighting to kind of help with my setup here, and then learning about Final Cut Pro, this editing software and things like that. So once you kind of get past those early stages, invest in yourself and find ways to kind of create better content. That's going to help get you more views. People want to watch your videos if they look a little bit better, they're not grainy and choppy. And I'm still working on this, but that's one of my other recommendations. And finally, guys, my last one is if you're on the edge about starting a YouTube channel or anything like that, and you're maybe afraid to make that first video, or you're not really sure if you want to do it, my recommendation is to kind of give yourself a trial period. When you first start your channel, you're not going to have any subscribers. The likelihood that you're going to get a lot of people that watch your channel, it's pretty low in the early stages. So commit maybe to doing like 3 or 5 videos and just say, I'm going to create 5 videos or 10 videos. I'm going to publish them, and then I'm going to wait and see how I feel about it. If I like YouTube, if I like doing this, then maybe I'll keep going with it. If you don't like it, then, at least you've tried, you found out you don't really like it, and, you can move on to other things. So that is kind of my last recommendation for you guys. So that is it for this video. Going into 2020, I have a lot of big goals. So if you guys are interested in learning more about e-commerce, YouTube, print on demand, whatever it may be, subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate having you guys here. Let me know in the comments if you guys have a YouTube channel or how much money you're making on YouTube. I always love hearing about that stuff. And finally, if you guys have any recommendations for growing a YouTube channel, let me know as well down below in the comments. But with that being said, I'm wishing you guys all the best in the new year, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. And until next time, I will bid you guys adieu. Cheers.